Good evening. I just want to say welcome to all of you lovely people that are out there in radio, um, video, wherever you are. If you're on Facebook, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. Twitch, Twitter, all that. If you own it, look, we appreciate you, man, for joining us tonight. Y'all know what tonight is, and I am so glad to have my main man, 100 grand. Y'all know who he is. You know, go ahead, give him that applause. Mr. Jackie Roper Jr. What's happening, Jack?
Oh, what it do, Tyrone? I'm here, baby. Motivational
Man,
Monday.
look, what's been going on in the nap, man?
Big things, man. That is cracking, dog. They just had that football game, that college football game, man. There's a lot of stuff happening down here. So I'm trying to prepare myself for the summer, get ready, get some videography, photography on, man. I do some big things, man, especially with you. So I got a lot of traveling I got to do from 65.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. And so we're excited to bring to you these topics tonight because not only are these topics that all of us are concerned with, but they personally hit home. And so I just want to send a couple of shout outs. First, thank you to Fox Glen Marketing for all of the production, the background work. Jackie Roper Jr. On the spans, man. Y'all got to give it up to Jack, man. He's the man with the plan. He do a lot. He do so much every day. So I just want to thank you, Jackie, and Fox Glen Marketing for all that you do on a daily and consistent basis. And so, for those of you that did not know, the live show and Fox Glen Marketing are in partnership, and we have some things that are coming up that are going to excite those of you that want to start your podcast, you want to start being on the radio, you want to start getting in the studio. Look, we got some exciting things coming up, and it's definitely a privilege, an honor, and a pleasure to serve you. It really is. And so I just want you all to know that we are thinking of you, that these are affordable rates, and we got all of that stuff coming up. And so I just wanted to give you that before we get started. Jackie, any opening remarks before we get this train to rolling, man?
Yeah, man. Shout out to PudgeTunes.com, man. www.pudgetunes.com. My cousin out in Houston, man, for letting us use the beats. You know what I mean? Dropping us down with a load of beats that will not get your podcast flagged. We got a lot of stuff going on, man, to where y'all really need to just hold on. Production is what it is. And like you say, it's affordable. It's affordable production.
Yeah.
It's affordable if you want to take the path of going down this route. So we do have great prices for people. We work with you on what your path is. So, let us help you out. But it's going to cost you. I'm going to tell you that it's going to cost you.
It may not cost you a lot, but it's going to cost you. But look, y'all, share. Those of you that are looking, share this, love it, comment, because somebody needs what we have. It may not be you, but somebody needs it. All right. And so with all of that said and done, in my mind, coming up with these topics from week to week and digging in, one of the topics that sticks out close to my mind is the student debt crisis. Now, the student debt crisis, I want to say it's almost $2 trillion, which is huge. And I'm talking about for higher learning, those that are, in education, those that going to college. And I'm not trying to shine a bad light on college, but what I'm saying is, other countries, they they have actually free college, and it's because what it does is it gives better industry. It gives better industry in the world. And today, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with America. I really don't. But I tell you this, that if we don't change something very soon, then guess what? We're going to be in debt to everybody. And no longer are we going to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, but we are going to be the land of the slaves, because that's what we'll be doing. We'll be working as slaves trying to pay everybody back. You know, I don't know what needs to be changed, but I know this. Well, where we are, it has to be something different. Jack, can you speak to that? Because I'm getting ready to pull up some statistics, but I know you can speak to that. As you were going into college and all of that, the student debt crisis is it is atrocious right now. Are you there, Jack?
I'm with you. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here. I'm with you. Yeah, man. Man, you always come up with these topics, and as I'm gonna tell you again, you always do this to put me in the fire because you know I'm gonna speak my mind, and I'm gonna let you know
Yes.
how I feel. And I think you do this on purpose, man. But this is what my whole take is of it. It's all a joke. It's really a joke. It's set up for you to try to, if you don't know your path going into college and really what you want to do, man, you really just gaining a lot of debt. Right now, I got 70 G's in debt that I need to pay back to Indiana State University. First off,
Right.
college tuition is so high, and that was in state. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Plus, you got trials and tribulations in life. You might not go ahead and go through your whole 4 years. I had a son when I graduated high school. Actually, he was born the day I crossed the stage. At the time, I was walking across stage.
Wow.
So then that had to make my whole mindset change of, hey, what am I going to do? At that point in time in my life, man, when I graduated high school, my mama gave me two options. This is a true story. She laid out two pieces of paper in front of me. She said, you either going to college or you going to the army, but you getting
Wow.
the hell out of my house. And I said,
Yeah.
hold on, mama, this ain't even your house yet. This Pawpaw house, you know what I mean? We both stay here. What's going on, baby? You can't just boot me. But he was in agreement to saying, you got to go.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
factor was becoming a man. At the same time, what it is in our society, we're not raising our kids to be successful in managing that debt.
Right.
Uh, so even though my mama had a college degree, I think hers was most to push me to get a college degree. You see what
Okay.
I'm saying? But managing the debt of obtaining a college degree wasn't taught to me. No wrong saying to my mom's, just saying those are the things that you have to teach your kids at the same time of going to college, because you will obtain more and more debt because now they hit you with credit cards.
Yep.
You don't have enough money to supply food for yourself. So now you're using those credit cards to either buy BS, you buying food, you buying Jordans, you living a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I dated a chick that was in damn near $13,000 of credit card debt on top of her student loan debt because of the way she lived. The shoes in her closet and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? This is what I watched.
Wow.
But at the same time, I was a fool too. You
Yeah.
know, I got a credit card and bought the biggest diamond ring.
Look, watch this. Check this. Check this out. Now, I pulled up some statistics. This is according to the Best Schools website. Um, Here it is. The student debt crisis refers to the $1.6 trillion in collective student loan debt owed by college grads or dropouts in the United States. Now, watch this. This is a big number. In 2019, the average graduate with a bachelor's degree had almost $30,000 in student debt. According to the Brookings Institution, almost 40% of borrowers may default on their student loans by 2023. That's a big number, man.
That's a big number, but you got to hear what I'm saying is it's all a joke. If you don't go to college, you and don't see how it's set up for you is really a joke, man. They put it as an educational system, or they sit here saying that you have to have a higher learning. But really, what it is, what I got out of college was discipline. You feel what I'm saying? And that's no BS. It's the timing of getting up, making it to class, because at that time and that age, you have no restrictions of no withhold. So you got to really know what you're going to get out of college. That debt comes afterwards. What you're doing is you're putting yourself in a situation, and then you're trying to say, well, am I going to go down this path for education? Or am I going to go down this path for education? While you're picking those choices, you're still building up debt, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You might go there for computer science, but end up with a computer science engineering degree or something in political science or either recreational sports management. You see what I'm saying? You start going on the path, but your path changes because you got to figure out what your life is going to be at the end of these 4 years. You don't know when you first get there.
And so that's big, man.
It's huge. So the difference in what I'm saying, and I know in this, everything I'm saying is not going off the topic of the student loan debt, because it comes into educating those for they won't have it. You get to the point in your life where you say, fuck it, I'm not going to pay it back. You see what I'm saying? $70,000. I want a $250,000 house. You know what I'm saying? So you want those other things because that's what that education is supposed to pay for. You know what I mean? Better things, an easier way of working in life. But you don't have to have that type of student loan debt compiled on you to have those choices. It comes to making wise the choices at a younger age.
So my question is that do you have a solution in mind to really start from, or a starting point, so that, because right now we're right at almost $2 trillion of student loan debt, and now, like I said, we're right now. I don't know how long it'll last, but right now we're the land of the free and the home of the brave. But I really see us moving into the home of the slaves. Okay. And so, do you see?
I don't see that, because that money is fake and false. For one, it's a number that they're throwing out there to you to say, "Hey, we're in debt." These, man, quit playing with me, dog. You really want to play with me on this? These universities make millions off of these athletes sitting here playing ball from all of their sports and everything. These some bitches ain't in no debt. Student loan debt, man, that's a joke, dude.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man. That's what I'm telling you. These
so where's all of these beefed up numbers coming from?
Because where it's coming from, all right, so Sid, think about this. When they had Sally Mae. Sally Mae passed it over to something called Navient. So what they doing is passing the buck. Who the hell owns the student loan debt? Nobody can sit here and say, who owns this debt, Tyrone? That's why, as a joke, it's being passed around from person to person. It can be wiped away because it's owned by a corporation that's holding that and saying, hey, man, we have all of these loans. Somebody has to pay us for these loans. Hey, so the government can say, hey, look here, that's over with. Because right now they was at a point in time where they was giving people pass. So how the hell I couldn't get a pass in 2002 for my student loan debt if they can do it now for other people? That's why I'm saying that money's a joke. If you can do it for some, you can do it for all. You see what I'm saying? And narrow that money down. That means that person who owns that student loan debt will have to take a lesser payout from the government to subsidize. Just like when you get a credit card, they'll sit here and say, all right, you spent $10,000, Mr. Roper, you ain't made a payment, but we want to settle this debt. How about you give us $3,000 out of that $10,000 and we can make sure that your credit and stuff is great. That's why I'm saying it's joke. There's a movie out there that's called, man, what is the name of this movie with Boston George in it? And he's selling drugs and he's saying this money ain't real, dog. They can print this up, pass it out, and give it to us. They can erase that student loan debt with Navient, with Sally Mae, and all of them people. If them people sit there and say, hey, man, let's take a little lower cost because now it'll help the American people. They're not helping us, Tyrone.
Right.
So if they help us with that student loan debt, then we're able to spend more into the economy. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I agree with you. I agree. And for me, I don't see why we're paying for education anyway. Now, I get it. You know, all of the teachers and staff need salaries and stuff like that to live.
Why is it so much, though?
Well, no. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, I don't see why or how it moves into this much debt, bro. Like, I mean, in other countries,
the people who have obtained it, such as me, you get to that point where you still can't pay that back, even if you obtained a great salary paying job with somebody sitting here saying, I need $600 or $650 out of your check. So therefore you default that loan. You know what I'm saying? You sit there and you try to put it in deferment so you won't have to make so much of a payment. You see what I'm saying? Right. So how can I sit here and pay $600 or $650 to some people's is higher than mine. So you speaking at 30,000. There's people out here with 70,000, $125,000. The government has set this up. Now let me tell you it, because when I started reading about the student loan debt, I said, man, Tyrone finna burn my motherfucking bridge up, dog. I'm finna lean into this one. I'm cussing more tonight than I ever have, man, because it pisses me off. I'm gonna tell you how I see the system. And I'm going to tell you how some of my family members had to work this system. What they had to do was to go to college, obtain a debt that was so high that they couldn't pay off, to where the government says, hey, why don't you come be a part of the National Guard and we'll pay off your $70,000. Oh, we're going to wrap your ass into our armed forces to pay off your student loan. My niece did it. My cousin, who's a doctor, he did the same move, man. So what they doing is playing you to put them in their system. The first part of their system is the schooling system. Let's hit you with a big ass debt. So now we can put you in our armed forces. And now you have to obtain a bigger debt, man. You see what I'm saying? It's a joke, dude. It's a joke where I had to make that decision at one point in time. Am I going to the Army to pay off a $70,000 debt?
You know, you making sense, and I'm saying that not to say that you were off anyway, but you make so much sense because of the interview from Greece.
My nephew just walked in the door, man. I wish I could pull him in. He just graduated.
Look, remember the interview from Greece?
I remember Costas.
Costas.
Yeah.
Here it is with Costas. He even said, look, in order for you to get a better job in Greece, it wasn't about college. It was about the military.
It's about the military. The respect he said that he got from entering the military was granted him more opportunities after leaving it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. They is a system that was set up long before that. If you don't see it, then you won't really know what it is. Yeah. Everybody had that choice. All right, this is what I'm finna tell you. Think about this. The student loan debt crisis wouldn't be that high if everybody took that option to go to the military and get it paid off, right? You had an option, but you didn't take that option because you didn't want to go fight for them some guns. So I didn't either. You see what I mean? So it's not like it's not something there. They're giving you something to pay off that loan. So why the hell they can't pay it off? Why the hell I got to go fight for you to pay off this? Tyrone, listen to what I'm saying. Why
Wow.
do I have to go fight for you to pay this bill? How is it
Wow.
that, listen to what I'm saying? That should already be a fee for me to go over there, dog. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
that means I'm serving you, what you're paying me some money to do, but you're also going to pay my college tuition. So that almost means like, all right, what if I don't have a college tuition? Should you be paying me double?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What if
Yeah.
I don't have that debt that this one person has came over with? Shouldn't I be getting double?
Yeah.
That's what
You're
I'm.
right.
It's a system that's set up for you to either succeed or to fail. But you have to know how to play the system. The problem is we get too old, and then you learn the system, and it's harder to teach someone the system.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They don't want to listen to you. But this college stuff to me is set up, dog. I never wanted to go to college, man. I wanted to work on cars. I
Yeah.
did. When I
Yeah.
got to college and I did, the first thing they do when you go to orientation, they say, look to the left, look to the right. Somebody ain't gonna, one of them some guns ain't gonna be sitting next to you. And both them some guns, I looked at one sitting next to me, bro. You understand me?
Yeah.
I knew one cat who went down there with me who failed gym.
What?
Yeah. So therefore, no discipline on his half. You know what I'm saying? But what scared the hell out of me was the dude told me the truth. I'm already obtaining debt. I'm already obtaining credit card debt. I'm leaving with more debt than I'm ever going to have. But why am I not scared, Tyrone? Because
Yeah.
they say that when I finish this, I should be able to pay this off. It's a lie.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't. Now I have a family, kids. It's more expenses coming out of my pocket than I can pay back this loan. But I got that piece of paper. So some people feel like they beat the system. You know what
No,
I
they
mean?
didn't.
They
They
did
didn't.
it because the system can pay for this debt. Our student loans should not be that high. It is not a crisis. They're only saying it's a crisis to put fear into people. It will not have no effect on you.
Right. Right.
Truthfully being, it will not, the student loan debt has no effect on the common person. It will affect the government, which the government can pay for it because they pay for wars. Stephanie said the same thing last time we was on this podcast, man. What is going to be the next move for this world to realize and wake up? She said it's going to be a war. Look what's
Yeah.
going on now.
Yeah.
They are starting one in the Ukraine and Russia.
Look, check this out. Now, I went and looked up. You're absolutely right talking about war because that's the distraction de facto. The biggest thing about this is there are 6 other countries right now that I know of that do not have college tuition. One of them, watch this, is Germany. So we all know Germany. Germany is a superpower. Why are they not paying for college? Okay, so now that we know Germany, watch this. Another one is Finland. Now it's a small country, but it's still. Why are they not paying for college tuition? You get some of the brightest, uh, students that come out of Finland. What's another one is France. There are there is no college tuition in France. Also in Sweden, also in Norway. None of those other countries have college tuition, man. And so now I always thought that in America, man, I'm free. But I'm really not free. I'm a slave in a country that called me free. They put the blinders over my eyes and they said, well, you're free. But I'm really not free because guess what? I got to pay for every single thing that I don't want to do in order to get something else done. It's always the overlay for the underplay. Always. And that's what's going on in America. Jack, you're absolutely correct. But this thing, man, it really bothers me, Jack. It really bothers me because they hound you about these student loans, man. They hound you about these student loans. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you
they,
why
they
though.
will garnish your check about these student loans, bro.
Let me tell you why. Because they know that it's getting to a point to where people have realized we should not be paying so much for this college education.
Yeah,
Tyrone, when they start shaking it like this, man, they know that they're trying to collect before a bill or something passed or something changed. So they're hounding you to collect whatever revenue they can before they have to take that lower bullet. It's coming to that point. It's coming to the point to where they're going to have to take that buyout from the government to make that. That's why I'm saying it's not a government debt. It's a corporate debt that some people hold as a corporation. They're saying, hey, man, we're going to hold all of these loans and you guys are going to have to either figure out a way to pay for them. You see what I'm saying? They
yeah,
have been passing them to where this new company has come in because Sally Mae probably could no longer withhold that debt as a corporation. You see what
right,
I'm saying?
right,
Somebody then gave, now please believe it, they did not just fold, someone obtained that, they took a lower buyout. Now Navient will hold that student loan debt for a while, and then it's going to be the next trick until the government says we're clearing this, because the people can't succeed without this being washed from them, man,
right.
or it has to be lowered. My thing is this: it should not be as high for us to go to school, man. Even if I,
Yeah,
I stayed on campus, stayed off campus, the classes shouldn't be that high. You know what I mean?
yeah.
$6,000 a semester is ridiculous. Some people pay 10 to 12. So it's like Steph just said, she think it's a joke too. I'm about to post it. She say, people that don't go to college can really be successful. I think college is a joke. She said she got a cousin that's getting her degree in computer science, but it is the engineering department.
Right.
I got a cousin that's doing engineering right now. I think she's finna almost retire at 40 because of the choices that she made to go to school. It's what you
Okay.
choose to go to school for that can really balance out your way. I wasn't set for school, Tyrone. You know what I mean? I struggled through high school and it was the option. But at the same time, I knew I could do anything. And
Yeah.
failure was not an option for me. The
Right.
debt is tremendous. What I'm trying to tell you is people that hold it like me, we don't think about that. You feel what
Right.
I'm saying? We trying to let the government sort that out. Because what we're trying to say is we can help more if y'all come up with a solution to pay down student loan debt.
And see, that's the thing, Jack. I hear a lot of people talking about their credit. Their credit score takes a hit. Not just their credit score, but now here it is, especially what we got going on with this COVID stuff. We have COVID going on, and people barely want to work. The regular 9 to 5 jobs or a job altogether. But the thing is that all right, you went to school for all of these 4 years, however many years, and then how in the world are you going to pay for school? How in the world are you going to pay if you're not working? And so it's a catch in there, man. And then let's just say they get government assistance. So all the government assistance is going towards, or maybe going towards, is all of that college tuition. And so I'm really looking like, how in the world are we free here in the United States? How in the world are we feeling like that we are superior to anybody when we are slaves in our own country, in the country that we were born in. So I'm just, and that's one of the reasons why I looked and was really going at this topic, because this topic is really, it is sad and it is depressing, and a lot of people, they don't want to look at it. They'll see it, but they don't really want to discuss it because it makes them, as you are, it makes them upset.
Yeah, I'm pissed off about it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I'm pissed off about it, man, because I wanted to do better, but
yeah,
also, like I tell you, man, with that debt, you forget about it. You like, man, I gotta continue and succeed, and I can't pay you $650 at
right.
this time, man. But you also still feel that success. You see what I'm saying? Of finishing college, especially for those who felt like it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
a lot of people don't really know until you look back at my history. You know what I mean? And no one knows everyone's history. They struggle, but
Mhm.
it was a struggle, my guy. And the
Yeah.
only thing I can figure out is while I was going through it, do I want to work harder or smarter? Because I had guys who left college and worked on railroads and stuff like that. But they had put so much time into it, Tyrone, to where they
Yeah.
still obtained the debt. So that was the crazy part. How could you do 3.5 years because you still got this debt, but you at the end and you still can't figure out your way? So they dropped out. You know what I'm saying? But you still got 45, $50,000 worth of student loan debt.
That's no good, man. That's no good.
So why
Well,
would you finish it?
and see, look, this, and we'll be talking about this all night.
Yeah.
Um, because this is a ongoing thing, and like you spoke of earlier about the athletes are, you know, up until I think, what was it, last year or a year before, something like that,
Yeah,
athletes were not being paid in college, and
exactly.
so their likeness was being used, and here it is, the university was making all kind of money on them,
So what
which
how
was crazy.
not all kinds of money, millions of dollars, man.
I
You got
know it.
about the sold out games from every sport, Tyrone.
Yep.
Football, basketball, swimming, badminton. All of those sports bring in revenue. All of those
Yep.
have chair peoples and boards and alumni that contribute and donors.
Yep.
Look, these, come on, man.
Yeah.
So how come some of that funding from all of those athletic events is not cutting down the cost of college? They don't add that in. It goes into the pockets of the rich, and the rich get richer.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? And they trying to tell you, figure out how to get rich so you won't have this debt on you. But
Yeah.
everybody's not gonna figure out that get rich game.
Yeah.
Some
You're
people
right.
will go through college and still struggle. I
Yeah.
struggled even after I graduated because the plan wasn't a perfect plan.
Yeah. You're
And
right.
then moved to Indianapolis, figure, and I smelt the air when I got down here, and I thought it was gonna be success. But then, even with my college degree, I got thrown into the same jobs. Started at the
Wow.
juvenile detention center. You know what I mean? Man, come on. Working with elderly. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Working with kids with mental disabilities.
Yeah.
And this is for years with a college degree. And those that I work with would never give me a higher position, even with a college degree.
Right. Right.
so,
Right. You're absolutely right, though.
so when you're going through those types of struggle, after you graduate for 5 or 6 years, do you think I'm finna give you back some money? Because I have
Mhm.
not got my feet planted, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still struggling. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I still obtained some debt after I graduated because I have not got together. So how can I pay you back?
But now, Look, they even I'm gonna say this, and then
You can leave it alone.
we gonna cut to commercial real quick, and then we're gonna
You
come back
should've
with
just
the
made
next
it one
topic.
tonight. You should have made
Huh?
it one topic tonight. You should have just
We
made it one.
well, we tried to just make talk about the other subject
But it goes
because
into this though. It really
yeah
does tie in. So I
yeah
know what you're finna do. Go ahead and do
yeah.
it so we can come on back and get to it.
So look, check this out. What happens is a lot of times with this school stuff, man, it is really with jobs and different things, and like you were saying, you're not even in your industry that you have gotten a diploma, and now you have wasted time and money, and so that's no good. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to keep wasting time. But check this out, y'all. We're gonna go to a commercial break, and we're gonna come right back. Don't forget, watch this. We got another topic that we're gonna tie right into this student debt crisis. You're listening to the live show, watching the live show. Don't turn that down. We coming right back.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tyrone Brown Jr.
And I'm Jackie Roper Jr.
Look, this Junior, man. Hey, let's get it. What we're coming to you today is talking about marketing and advertising. Look, Foxland Marketing is at your service for all of your podcasting, marketing, and advertising needs. Look, contact us at the number below. You won't regret it.
We got two numbers. We got a 219 number and we got a 317 number. If you need to talk to Tyrone Brown for the Gary, Indiana area, please reach out to him. This is a partnership that we are working from Gary to Indianapolis to develop small businesses, to make sure that we can get y'all creative marketing and small business development going. Podcasts, all of that, man. Whatever you got going, talk to us, let us know. We got a great following. We are trying to build together to where everybody friends become friends, to where you can reach out to the masses.
Definitely. So you don't want to miss. Look, Foxland Marketing and the Life Show, we about to go up. My name is Tyrone Brown Jr.
And I'm Jackie Roper Jr.
Look, keep it locked. Stay consistent.
Here we come, baby.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Brown Jr. And of course, my main man, Jackie Roper Jr., all the way from Indianapolis, Indiana. And so we were talking in the first half, I don't know, the first three quarters, let me put it like that, about the student debt crisis. Now, we're kind of switching modes, but not so much to talk about the federal wage, to see what that is like. Here it is. This federal, what you call livable wage, because it takes money to live. Now, we talked about the student debt crisis, but now a federal livable wage. Now, watch this. How are you going to pay, or how are you going to live if you're paying off a debt that is upwards of 30 grand? How? I just want to ask that. The federal livable wage. Now, I remember that when I started working my first job, I was only I think I got what, 515 or 525, something like that. But my first job, I got 525 at the highest. And I remember when I got bumped up a quarter, man, I was so gassed. I'm like, man.
What was the job at?
It was at Popeyes, man. That was my first job ever.
Don't say
I
it
was
like
a cook.
that. Mine was don't say it like that. Mine was at Long John Silver's over the hill. I was at Long John's, bro.
Look, I was a cook, man. So I'm looking around like, man, this is cool. I was like 15 years old. trying out the world for myself. But working at Popeyes, man, coming home smelling like grease and and not to say that wasn't an honest living, but to each his own, because everybody has they has their gift. But here was,
What's wrong?
man was not a cook, man was a servant.
What's
And
wrong?
so what I did is I
Man?
served until my next spot came up, and then I got hired at McDonald's, which was, I think, $5.75. They started me with $5.75 at the time. And so I thought I was big balling and shot calling, brother.
Oh
Man,
God.
I was every bit of happy. I remember I even quit the football team in order to get my money right. And that didn't even work, because I found out I quit the football team and I still wasn't making enough money in order to get what I needed to get done. And I was still living with my parents at the time. But a federal livable wage is just, man, and even now, I think the federal livable, I'm not talking about the state, because the state is much different, but the federal livable wage is set at 7.25, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it could have went up since 2020, but back then it was 7.25. 7.25, and that's only 2 years ago. And so how are you going to live? Because people have kids, they got to take care of their kids. They got to take care of their households. They have to have toiletries. They have to have deodorant, soap, toilet tissue, disinfectant, bleach, washing, all that good stuff. They have to have clothes. And so how do you expect for people to live off of 7.25, bro? And then here it is. I didn't went to school, like you said. Here it is. You didn't went to college. And you went what? You went to college for what, 4 years, Jack?
Heck, it took me longer, 5.5.
Look, so okay, but watch this. You did college for 5.5 years and then collected so much debt on your name that when people run your credit, now that big student loan is saying not paid, not paid, not paid. So how are you supposed to get a good job if all of that debt is hanging on you, or not just get a job, but get a job to help pay it off? You become a slave to the system instead of thriving in the system. So I don't get that, man. I
Well,
don't get that. I'm confused.
it's like this.
Maybe I was
Well,
hoodwinked.
I listened to what you just said. So that comes with, to me, everything you said, that comes with planning. You said kids. So my thing is, people are living their life, but they're not planning their life. If you take more responsibility on what you trying to do, then you will be able to subside that debt. My thing was, I wasn't a responsible person. You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, I've seen others that have been responsible. You know what I mean? Like my cousin didn't have any kids after he graduated. He wasn't all wrapped up in a woman and having kids. And so therefore he was managing his bill to get that debt off. So when he did meet someone, that they wouldn't have a financial struggle. So it's really about planning. You see what I'm saying? I was more of, I wanted to hump something, and then without the responsibility of it, then it will be causing a kid. One kid will get you two will get you three. So therefore, without my responsibility and knowing what other debts I've had, you laugh, but it's the truth.
No,
If
I laugh because it is the truth.
My path, then I can't subside my debt from the past. And that's what it is. Yeah, you could have took care of it, Jackie, but when I first got out, the same thing that you just said, $7.25 for minimum wage. When I first got done with college, I really couldn't find a job, Tyrone. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? I didn't work for the person I did an internship with. So my job was $9.75. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? At the I'm down on 25th and Keystone at the juvenile detention center down here.
Yeah.
That was my only option after I did not get that job where my intern
Yeah.
was to work a $9.75. So I'm watching how these wages is, and like you're saying, how can just me by myself, dog? I got to paying my lights, my rent. You know what I mean? I got a son, so I'm sending my baby mother some money, my car, insurance, my cell phone bill. You feel what I'm saying? Now you
Yeah.
trying to figure out how you eating.
Right. Right.
So
Well, and that's
yeah,
what I'm basically getting to, Jack. And not so much, I get the planning aspect, but I'll say this: not many of us were taught planning,
none of us was, Tyrone.
but there was some sprinkled in that they were taught planning because they had a lot of forward thinking, but the majority of us were not taught about planning. Because I'm of the mindset that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Exactly.
And so I didn't learn that until after I was over
Felt
30 years old.
and you
But
felt
back
a lot.
then, I had to screwed up so much
Mm-hmm.
until what can I plan now? The next stage of my life to now take on or to do what I need to do in order to succeed.
Yeah.
But I mean, here it is. Maybe if I was taught planning, you know, at a younger age, maybe 16, 17, 18 years, I wasn't taught all of that because
Was you not taught, or did you not grasp that at that time when somebody did try to teach you? Because like when you saying that, it's like, man, did someone did try to teach me planning and planning out, and that went over my head at 16 because I was so wrapped up in some other stuff, and I really can't remember. You see what I'm saying? But it
well,
wasn't drilled into me as much as it
well,
needed to be.
what I'm saying is, okay, this is a perfect scenario. All right, when you're at school, let's just say the teacher always yelling. Now, you're there to learn, but not everybody learns the same. And so if I was taught, it was probably bark to me. And because I shut down because I don't like the bark, and I wasn't wise enough to not throw the baby out with the dishwater. I mean, with the bath water. So how in the world do I disseminate of what's important to what's not when it's conveyed to me in the same atmosphere that I don't like or that I did not receive? And so don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming anybody. But what I am saying is that, like, for my children, all of my children learn differently. Okay? I could not uh deal with my middle son like I did my oldest son. And I could not deal with my baby boy the way that I deal with my middle son. All of them are different. All of them have different personalities and aspects of life. So I have to teach them differently. It is not a cookie cutter way. And so what I'm getting at is not all people are trained or developed so that they can understand planning. Like in a 101, what you would do is you would sit down with some paper and then you would now try to train and develop that child's mind so that you can see what works and what doesn't work. But because and if you have busy parents, you just not gonna get that. You either sink or swim. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not again, I'm not throwing off on anybody. What I'm saying is is that the level or the understanding of learning, it's different, and so everybody has to be able to learn in their own perspective way, or else they're not going to get the concept. And I
Okay.
think that's what it is for the most part.
I'm gonna speak on that. So that comes with, and this goes to the livable wages, the learning. You know, some of these minimum wage jobs don't have 401k plans,
Right,
or health benefit plans and
right.
stuff like that. So therefore, it's like people move on from them. You know what I mean? Those are temporary positions to where you don't want to be there too long unless you're the manager or you become the district manager. You
Yep,
see what I'm saying?
yep.
But when you are like, I really don't know. Did at Popeyes, did they offer you any type of benefits as a cook when you was in high school?
No,
Exactly.
no.
So those people that's making those wages, man, they really trying to figure out their next move.
Yep,
They working there temporarily to say, man, what am I going to do next?
yep. I think you just cut out, Jack.
Nah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't no background noise going on. But yeah, that's
Okay.
what the next move is to find out, you know, have you ever went to go get, like right now, man, they making so less that they're in there pissed off. Your food ain't prepared right. You know what I mean? It's not enough staff. They're not getting paid enough, but they have to work to
Yeah,
provide for their family. And
yep.
so therefore, sometimes I walk into these places and I know, all right, Jack, your sandwich might not. I don't go through the drive-through. Tell you the truth, Tyrone, I go in because right now you're dealing with disgruntled workers, people who have to work to provide for their families. But the corporations that they're working for are not giving them no justice. They're not sitting here recognizing, hey, I know we're going through a pandemic. I know we're going through not enough staff. And hey, John, I know you've been here every day this week, man. I really appreciate you. When ain't no pats on the back, no congratulations, no above and beyond. And they're
Yeah,
making bukus of money, hands over fist.
yep.
It's no appreciation at those jobs to where sometimes I feel like some of these workers will get disgruntled, and hopefully, that's why I pray over my food. They don't do nothing wrong to the food to harm the ones that's coming to get it, because the ones that's paying them, they're pissed off at. It has nothing to do with us.
You're absolutely right.
You're pissed off at a job that's paying you less money, so I'm going to tamper with the product that you have to make the people sick. Or, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care about your burger. You know, I'll throw it on the ground, pick it up, put it on your bun. You do type of things like that when you're pissed off at the system that's treating you bad.
Hey, but see, look, well, I ain't gonna even go off on that end.
Oh yeah.
But here it is. I have been there, Jackie, where I have worked places, and because I was pissed off at the system, then and it wasn't their fault, but because I was pissed off at the system, guess what? I tried to get back at them. Now, the things that I did were not good. They were not good. And I can't say that they were good. But at the same time, the system was already jacked up before I got there. And so the what you're talking about is the wage first, appreciation next, and not just appreciation, but just showing some kind of tact to where when you see people down, don't kick them while they down, man, because all it's going to do is it's going to affect your customer base.
I
It
do.
really is.
I really do agree that it should be lifted because I lived through that. You know what I'm saying? And even though I did go receive a college degree, I know that people who do make them wages, even because I still had to make those same damn wages with a college degree. And
Yeah.
it's not fun, man. Everybody You know, the $15 it should be where you work at that can pay out that 15. But
Yeah.
$10.50, you know what I mean, to $11.50, man. You can make it. You can put in some extra hours. You can bring in that $100 to $500 to $800 a week. You see what I'm saying? If you are making over $10 an hour, when they cut you with that 7 and that 8 and that 9 and that tax come out your money, they have to add some type of money in there to where that tax come out, that you still going home with a nice check. Your check has to be at least $900 or $850. You know what I'm saying? Damn near a week.
Yeah. Because if it's not, then you're not going to be able to afford rent.
There
You're
you
not
go.
going to be able to afford food. And God forbid you got kids. How you going to take care of them?
There you
And
go.
most of residents nowadays are single parents. The majority of residents are single parents. And so
another thing with that is, though, because it's better for you, it's better for a woman not to get married to a man, because the government will help her out in all many types of ways. I tell my wife that all the time. When do you want to get a goddamn divorce so these some bitch can pay for these kids' meals? You laugh if you want to. If I leave this woman, if I left her and we got a divorce, the government will help her out in more ways than one. And I can still pay her child support because I love my kids, but she don't make enough. She don't make what I make.
Right.
And just by being a single mom, they'll give her $650 worth of food stamps. You see what I'm saying? Then she'll file her taxes and end up with another $8,000 to $10,000 on tax return. So, woman, leave me, because that food cost, hey, dog, that food cost right now is a mug. And that's why you really have it, though, Tyrone, to where I'm trying to say that the mind, dog, some people get caught up in those types of indulgement from the government that never, hey, I'm good with this job. I can work this 6 months. I'm going to file my taxes and get a big old return, and I'll sit back for the next 3 or 4 months. My rent is only $28 a month. I got $8,000 in my pocket, some new J's. I'm good for 4 or 5 months. Then I'll go back to work.
So what am I hurting for?
What am I hurting for?
I mean, and that's the biggest thing, man. You know, I look at, and then on top of that, some of these states, especially Indiana and Illinois, are at-will states. So now, not only do we compound the issue as far as, you know, talking about the student debt crisis, as well as the federal livable wage. But now, because we live in an at-will state, if they didn't like the way that we looked at them, a supervisor or manager, they can fire. They can fire you right away. And guess what? It ain't nothing that you or a lawyer could do. They can fire you without just cause, and just because they don't like what you said or what you did, and it don't have nothing to do with your work performance. It don't have nothing to do with that. But because of the stipulations of where we live, all of these things, man, look, they're issue, and it's got to be fixed. But that means we're going to have to stand up as people to really force change and do what we know to do instead of standing back in the background and doing nothing. Trying to tell you, man. Look, man, we at the end. We at the end of our time. Jackie, any closing remarks, man, that you would like to express before we get out of here, man?
You really want me to say something?
Sure.
Man, the government can pay for the student loan debt, dog, and they can raise the minimum wage. You know what I mean? People out here hurting. But you know, it's all who's sitting in them seats, Tyrone, that's gonna make these changes, man. Truthfully. You know, A lot of stuff is going up, man. People are hurting even more right now, dog. Truthfully, if you can see the prices, if you walk into somewhere where you used to get your chicken from and you go in there and you look, I guarantee that it scratched the prices out and changed the prices. Y'all better start keeping y'all eyes open, man. Everything is inching up on you slowly but surely, except your money in your pocket.
There you go.
I got to say, man.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Motivational Monday, and we are just trying to motivate you to get up off your do nothing and do something. Not just do something, but do the right thing in order to get the results that we as a people need. All right, and that's why we bring all of these topics to you. Look, my name is Tyrone Brown Jr., and of course, y'all know who that is. It's Jesse Wilford Jr. Look, we appreciate y'all. Blessings. Have a safe and great day. We'll be right back on Wednesday. Have a great one. Peace.